Good morning, everyone. Welcome to OCBC and Vista for Ohigan service. Ohigan service comes twice a year, around this time, fall time, and springtime, when the daylight and nighttime are equal. So people thought that's the perfect time to listen to the Dharma during the long daytime. Today, we are so grateful to have a special speaker, Reverend Harry Bridge, who give us a Dharma message in English and Japanese. Before that, please join us chanting Jusege together. Join me, Gasho, please. Namanda, what's 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 Namanda, Namanda, what's Namanda, what's Namanda. 아건 조세감 이시무조도 시강후만족 세후조쇼각 가오무료고 후이다이세슈 후사이쇼빙그 세후조쇼각 가시저분도 묘쇼조지보 극교미쇼몬 세후조쇼각 리역진쇼넨 조회슈봉요 시그무조도 이쇼텐닌시 진리키엔다이코不消無才道少女三苦名交際集約難回避自営言名詞公務案閉塞小悪道通断全宗門高僧上満足異様老実法日願修十期天候恩不言一周解放像公正功徳法上大修十説法四式供養一切仏具足修徳本元年心上満得意三害を女分無下地通断未不詳願学営力投資最小損志願や効果大戦王冠道国商天人道内妙見ナモンダブナモンダブナモンダブナモンダブナモンダブナモンダブ願にしくどく平等性一切道本菩提心大宇宙ラ国 Utsnamanda, 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 Utsnamanda. Namanda, Utsnamanda, Utsnamanda.
Good morning. My name is Reverend John Turner, and we're very lucky today to have a very special musical offering for our fall Ohigan special service. It is brought to you by one of the OCBC members and a Dharma school teacher named Hector Ortiz. And he's kind of well known for playing the electric cello, and he's going to play something absolutely wonderful. I asked him who the artist was, and it is Hector. It's an improvisational sound bath. It doesn't even have a title yet. So a sound bath kind of sounds like what it is. The body is bathed in sound, and the vibrations and the melody affects the way one feels, much like when we say Namo Amida Butsu. So please, let's give a big welcome to a very talented and gifted artist who is going to offer music as their Oshoko, Hector Ortiz. I thought that was wonderful. The quality, the sound, the image, the video. So we're doing this often now. We have OCDC members and Vista Buddhist Temple members sending us their musical offerings to be given at our services. Next, I'd like to introduce our special guest speaker. His name is Reverend Harry Gyokyo Bridge. I've known him for a really long time. We're really lucky to have him speak. He is a resident minister of the Buddhist Church of Oakland. Although he lived in both the United States and Japan, he didn't encounter Buddhism until college. Eventually, he went on to study it at the graduate school in both Berkeley and Kyoto. His first temple assignment was the Buddhist Church of Lodi, and has been resident minister of the Buddhist Church of Oakland since 2009. He also teaches at the Institute of Buddhist Studies in Berkeley, California, and is the chairperson of the Ministers Association of the entire BCA, Buddhist Churches of America. So please listen during this fall Ohigan for our special teacher, Reverend Harry Bridge.
Namanda, namanda, namanda. Okay, thank you very much. Thank you for inviting me to be a guest speaker for your fall Ohigan service. I think part of why I like fall Ohigan is because it means that my favorite season is coming. I was born in October. I don't know if that has anything to do with it. I grew up in Massachusetts. I don't know if that has anything to do with it. I love the fall or autumn in Massachusetts on the East Coast. Maybe also because I'm a Libra, having been born in October. And so the idea of balance kind of appeals to me. Now, yesterday we had a seminar, and it was called Buddhist Values, 6 Paramitas, 3 Poisons, and the Middle Way. And so some of you may have taken part in that seminar. Today, I'd like to talk about the 6 Paramitas, or Paramitas, because they are associated with Ohigan. So this Ohigan is twice a year, right? The spring and the fall, and it's when we have the equinox, when day and night are equal. And there was this idea of going to the other shore of enlightenment, and the 6 paramitas are what get us there. Okay, and so these 6 paramitas are what we kind of associate with Ohigan time. And so, you know, there's 6 of them. Got them memorized, right? Maybe not. There's so many things to remember, in Buddhism. And so I have something to try and help you remember the 6 paramitas. Did that help? Should I show it again? Right? Maybe it doesn't make sense. Some of you might have got it. I learned an acronym, right? This is a visual portrayal of an acronym. And so you might recognize it. And it was taught to me by Maya Lawrence, who is Bishop Tsuji's daughter, one of his daughters. And she was the superintendent of the Buddhist Church of Oakland Dharma School for a long time. So she came up with this, as far as I know. Grandpa delivers pizza every Monday and Wednesday. Okay, Grandpa delivers pizza every Monday and Wednesday. So now when I show the picture again, it makes more sense, It was really hard to find a grandpa delivering pizza. It's the only picture I could find even close. But you can see him delivering the pizza, and also the calendar in the back. And every Monday and Wednesday is circled, right? So Grandpa delivers pizza every Monday and Wednesday. Now you might still be thinking, what does this have to do with the 6 paramitas? Well, giving, discipline, patience, effort, meditation, and wisdom. Okay, so the letters, Grandpa delivers pizza every Monday and Wednesday, GDPEMW. GDPEMW. Giving, discipline, patience, effort, meditation, and wisdom. So that's how maybe you'll have a scavenger hunt at some point if you're in junior YBA, or, I'm not sure what's going to happen, but you might have to memorize these. And so if you do, you got them memorized already, right? You'll picture that guy delivering the pizza with the calendar in the background, and then you'll remember Grandpa delivers pizza every Monday and Wednesday. There's another way to remember the Sanskrit names, Dana, Sila, Kshanti, Virya, Dhyana, and Prajna. We'll do that one some other time, okay? It's good to know, especially Dana, maybe, right? Now, there's different ways to understand these 6 paramitas. And so I think one way we can kind of understand is just kind of an everyday level, right? Not even thinking about Buddhism necessarily, but to think about giving. It's a good thing, generosity, right? 2 to 4 I think of as kind of a recipe for success: discipline, patience, and effort. Whether you're trying to learn a language or learn an instrument or play sports, right? You want to be disciplined and follow the rules. You want to be patient, because getting better at something doesn't happen overnight, but you also got to put in the work. You need effort, right? And it doesn't happen by magic. You can't put the book under your pillow and expect it to absorb into your head, right? You have to actually read, you have to actually study, you have to actually practice, right? Number 5, meditation, right? You can try and control your mind, be more aware of your thoughts and what's going on inside your head. And wisdom, right? It's something many people aspire to become wise, right? And to learn as much as you can. So those are kind of everyday ways we can think about 6 paramitas. I think especially 2 through 4, right? The recipe for success. If you're ever trying to accomplish something, right? Those 3, if you keep those in mind. I'm not good at discipline, personally. I can be pretty patient, but not really. And even effort, I think I'm pretty lazy. So I need these 3, right? Just in my everyday life. However, the real way the 6 paramitas are is the Bodhisattva path to Buddhahood. If you want to become a Buddha, you do the 6 paramitas. And you can't just do them half-heartedly, right? You have to perfect them, right? And so another way to understand the term paramita is perfection. To perfect these. Right? Now this is really, really, really difficult. Very, very, very difficult to really do. And the easiest one to realize difficulty is giving, dana. Because the perfection of dana, the perfection of giving, is selfless giving, right? To give with no thought of oneself, purely for the sake of the other. I remember when I was a student at IBS, Institute of Buddhist Studies there in Berkeley, and sometimes you had to walk by People's Park, and there were bound to be homeless people there, maybe asking for money. So I thought to myself, you know what? I'm going to put $1 in my pocket. So if someone asks me, I can just hand it to them. I don't have to go digging around in my wallet. So sure enough, I'm walking by and this person, says, can you spare a quarter? And I was like, sure, here. And I gave him $1. And then I kept walking and I realized, hey, he didn't say thank you. He asked for 25 cents. I gave him 4 times as much as he asked for. And I didn't get a single word of thanks. And then I realized, whoa, that was like the opposite of selfless giving. That was selfish giving. Why was I giving? Did I really want to help this guy? Or was I doing it to help myself, to feel good about myself? Right? And it made me realize if I was to truly help him, I'd have to take him back to the dorm, give him some of my clothes maybe, help him find a job, right? If I was really going to help him. And it helped show me too how my ability to help is limited. Now it doesn't mean that you stop giving, it doesn't mean that you just stop being generous, but at the same time, he really showed me that I was not doing the dana paramita, I was not doing selfless giving, right? I was doing it for actually selfish motivation. Discipline is actually like rules and precepts, right? And to do good and avoid evil in body, speech, and mind. Not easy. Patience. Becoming a Buddha technically requires multiple lifetimes. And so you got to be really patient. Not just patient waiting for lunch, not just patient waiting for next year, right? Patience over hundreds, thousands of years, right? To finally become a Buddha. Effort. We can think of the Daruma. I'll put it on the screen there, right? This kind of Japanese doll. Now it's actually Bodhidharma, right? And the story goes that he sat meditating for so long that his arms and his legs fell off. That's why it gets that Daruma shape, right? So that's how much effort he put in. It's a mythical story, but it illustrates this perfection of effort. meditation, many different kinds of meditation, and wisdom, the true Buddhist wisdom. Right? It's not wisdom in a worldly sense. It's not wisdom like, oh, I'll be 50 in another month, or actually 2 or 3 weeks from now, by the time you're watching this. And it's not this idea of, I'm 50 now, I'm so much more wise than someone half my age, right? Or maybe I'm 80 and now I'm wise. It has nothing to do with age, it has nothing to do with worldly stuff. It's Buddhist wisdom. It's perceiving the emptiness of all things, right? Not just the word or the idea, even impermanence or interconnectedness, right? Not just the word or the concept, but experiencing it, right? Awakening itself, right, is Buddha wisdom. Not something I can awaken to by myself, right, in this lifetime. So, that's one of the questions. Can we truly perfect the 6 paramitas? Jodo Shinshu, another question is, do we have to? And the answer is no, because actually in Jodo Shinshu, Dharmakara Bodhisattva perfected the paramitas, so that we don't have to, because we can't. So it's kind of an interesting idea here, huh? We need to be really careful, right? As a Buddhist, what am I trying to do? Ultimately, the goal of Mahayana Buddhism anyway, is to become a Buddha so that you can help others. And the means to do that, one of the means is the 6 paramitas, to actually put them into practice and perfect them. Right? And so we really need to look at ourselves. And part of Shinshu, Shinran saw that in himself, that he couldn't do this. He couldn't become selfless. There's no way he could drop his ego. Right? There's no way he could transcend ego or the 3 poisons. Right? That he found himself actually sunk in the 3 poisons. And remember, the third is greed, anger, and ignorance, right? Ignorance is the opposite of wisdom. And Shinran really finds, I think, in himself the 3 poisons all the time, and not the carrying out of the 6 paramitas. So, our path is Nembutsu. Our path is self-reflection. Our path is awakening to the wisdom and compassion of the Buddha actually coming to us, so that we don't have to do the 6 paramitas. However, it doesn't mean we just throw them out. And this is kind of my point. This is my main point, I think. I think the 6 paramitas are part of our core values as Buddhists. And this is an idea that we talked about yesterday at the seminar and that I've been thinking about for the past few years, is, a lot of times we think of, what do we do as Buddhists? What is our practice? And we do a lot of stuff. We do sutra chanting, we do incense offering, we say the Nembutsu, we hang out, after church, right? We do bazaars, we do all kinds of stuff. But another way to think of it is, what are my values as a Buddhist? What's important in my life? How do I live my life? And I think it's really interesting to take the 6 paramitas as a possibility for what my values are. And actually with the 6 paramitas, you kind of don't need all 6. Just take number 1 and number 6. Okay? Number 1, giving, selfless giving. Another way to understand that is compassion. And then number 6, wisdom. So you hear this a lot, wisdom and compassion. That's what a Buddha has. That's the perfection of Buddhahood, is to have wisdom, to see things as they truly are, right? Not be ignorant of the truth as we normally are, and compassion, right? That it's not just for oneself, it's for all beings. So this wisdom and compassion are, to me, one of the core sets of values in Buddhism. Another way to think of compassion is kindness or friendliness, right? We think about whether it's the loving kindness meditation, or compassion is also, I like this idea of kindness and friendliness. You don't get to be mean and hurting other people and be like, yeah, and I'm a good Buddhist, right? These are Buddhist values, to hurt others and be selfish, right? And hoard as much stuff as I can and steal, right? That's not Buddhist values. We might do it, right? We're mean to other people sometimes. I'm not trying to help everyone else. I'm trying to get by myself. right? But the ideal, right? That's one way to think of these positive values. Is that what's our ideal, right? What's the goal? And one is to be kind, right? And the other is to again see things as they truly are. Now there might be some other values. We need to know the 3 poisons that I mentioned, right? And that's kind of negative values, right? What's bad? Greed, anger, and ignorance. Middle way, I probably talked about yesterday, is another one, the middle way between extremes. Gratitude is one we hear about. I also think that diversity is a Buddhist value, personally. Maybe others might not agree with me, but diversity in the sense that Buddha didn't just have one set of teachings or dogma that he put on everybody, right? The Buddha taught each person as they needed to hear. Each person has different issues. Each person has different problems. Each person is unique. And Buddha taught each one for them, to them, right? And so I see that as kind of a diversity, right? If he was against diversity, he'd just be like, here's the rules, now you follow me and follow them, right? But instead, he teaches each person according to their need. And then freedom of religion, I think, is important too. Buddha didn't demand that people follow Buddhism, right? Or that people become Buddhist. And Buddhism, historically, I think in many cases, when it goes into a new country or a new region, it doesn't try and wipe out what's already there. It interacts with what's already there. So I like to think of diversity and freedom of religion as Buddhist values as well. But today, right, my main focus for today's talk is wisdom and compassion. And that's actually where Nembutsu comes from too. Right? Buddha knew that many people, such as myself, would not be able to successfully walk the difficult path, right, of doing these practices, actually being selfless, right, of all these different things. And so made the vows and gave us the Nembutsu, right, Namo Amida Butsu, taking refuge in wisdom and compassion, taking refuge in Amida Buddha. It sustains my life. Right? I encountered Buddhism 30 years ago now, and I was very fortunate to do so. It's allowed me to persevere in the midst of difficulty, and I think it allows, that's for us, right? That when we go through these difficult things of losing loved ones or even what we're going through now, right? That the Nembutsu is part of what keeps me going. And then so when things are good too, right? To not take it for granted, but to have gratitude and appreciation in those times of plenty. Right? And it's Nembutsu. Without Nembutsu, I would just be mindlessly indulging. Right? But the Nembutsu allows me, as part of a process, for me to learn more about the Dharma, right? Learn about wisdom and compassion, the 3 poisons, the middle way. Also learn about myself, see myself more as I truly am, not as I want myself to be or because I'm afraid to see the truth. It allows me to truly see myself. So I want to thank you very much. Thank you so much for having me for your fall Ohigan service. Why don't we conclude with Gassho. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namanda Butsu. Namanda Butsu. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Reverend Bridge. We really appreciate listening to you teach the Dharma on this special service. And next, we will have Reverend Wondra introduce his talk given in Japanese, in Nihongo.
それでは日本語でハリー・ブリティ先生のご紹介をいたします。ブリティ先生は現在、オークランド仏教会にお勤めでございます。大学生の時に仏教に出会われまして、日本でもお勉強されました。現在は BCA 開教師会の議長さんとして大変活躍されておられます。日本語も大変お上手でございます。どうかブリッジ先生の日本語のご法話をお聞きください。
Namanda, namanda, namanda. Hello, minasan. Arigatou gozaimashita. 実は普通に私はあんまり日本語の方はしないんですけど、今回ね、今日のお彼岸メッセージは、ワンダラ先生に日本語のメッセージを頼まれたから、頑張ります。今日、英語ではいろいろの話しましたけど、昨日もセミナーしましたね。で、そのセミナーは仏教の価値観について話しました。普通にはあんまり、英語であんまり価値観の話を聞かないですね。仏教について。それはね、私は最近考えていること。で、仏教の価値観は何でしょうか。ね、僕は例えば、六波羅蜜、三毒、中道、ね、多分いっぱいあると思いますけど、それについて昨日結構話しました。で、今日もちょっと話したいと思いますね。例えば、六波羅蜜、six parameters ですね。これは普通にいわゆる行と普通に考えますね。行、仏教の行ね、その字。すること。仏様になるためのすること。行動。例えば、ダーナ、giving、ね、不正、discipline、自戒、patience、ニンニク、effort、精進、meditation、禅定、wisdom、知恵、般若。ね、普通はこれはね、もし仏様になりたかったら、この六波羅蜜をやって、完全的にやって、パーフェクトにやって、で、ブッダになれるですね。すごい時間かかると思いますね。それは patience ですね。ニンニク。ね、普通にはね、何回もまた生まれて、で、その菩薩の道を歩くために、ね、すごい、この patience、ニンニクは必要だけど、浄土真宗では、この六波羅蜜は、私たちがすることではないですね。実は、法蔵菩薩、ね、阿弥陀仏になったけど、法蔵菩薩は、その六波羅蜜できました。完璧にできました。ね、私たちしなくてもいいようにできました。ね、私たちの道は、六波羅蜜ではないですね。まだ成仏の道、まだ仏様になるための道だけど、その道の行とか何するか、他の仏教の宗派とちょっと違うと思いますね。普通にはね、この六波羅蜜とかいろいろ禅とか瞑想、ね、メディテーションとかいつもいいことをする、ね、悪いことをしないとか、ね、そういうように仏道、ね、ブッダになる道があるけど、浄土真宗ではちょっと違うですね。この六波羅蜜しなくてもいい。それはちょっと違うですね。で、それはね、この価値観の考え方をちょっと出しましたね。これ、六波羅蜜のすることは必要ではありません。必要だったら僕はできません。完全にできません。ね、この不正、giving、ね、ダーナはselfless。全然自分のためが入ってないですね。100% は他の人のためですね。僕はそれできないですね。学生の時、IBS、ね、バークレーの、Institute of Buddhist Studies の、学生時代、ね、私はたまに仕事に行く途中とかではPeople's Park がありましたね。いっぱいホームレスがいるところ ですね。まだいっぱいいると思いますね。もっといるかもしれないけど、ね、その時、これは20年前、25年前の時、僕はそのパークを通ったら、よし、最初からちょっとお金ポケットに入れて、で、頼まれた、なんか財布出さなくてもいいね。もうポケットに入ってるからあげれる。ですね。そう、ある日、その準備して、People's Park の隣に歩いて、で、やっぱり、相変わらず、Can you spare a quarter? ね、25センツ、クォーターありますか？くれないの？それ、頼まれたら、よし、1ドルあげるよ。1ドルあげました。で、keep going ね、ちょっとまた歩いて、で、ちょっと考えて、あれ？あの人は Thank you ね、ありがとう全然言わなかった。なんでなんか全然感謝がないな。なんでなんか25 cents 頼まれたのに4倍あげたでしょ？ 1 ドルあげた。でも全然ありがとうと言われなかった。もうちょっと歩いて、ちょっと待って。誰のために1ドルあげたね、彼のためとか自分のため。もちろんちょっとあの人ものためも入ってたけど、ね、その感謝欲しかった、ね、ありがとうと聞いたかったから、それは自分のためでしょう。じゃあこの不正じゃなかった、perfect 不正じゃなかった、perfect selfless だなじゃなかったですね。ではありません。ね、結構 self も入ってた。結構自分のためだったんですね。でも、そうでも、この6波の蜜を捨てたくないですね。自分の道に必要じゃないかもけど、なんかこれは大事ですね。で、これではちょっと価値観を考えてたんですね。仏教徒として価値観は何だろうですね。自分のマイン、ね。アメリカ人では何の価値観がある。日本人だったら何の価値観がある。いろいろね、違う答えがありますね。なんかそんなに宗教的じゃなくて、なんか一般的に自分の価値観みんな考えてくださいね。私の価値観は何でしょうとちょっと考えてくださいね。お金は必要？大事？楽しいことが必要？それちょっとアメリカっぽいですね。have fun。ね、楽しいは一番大事。とか、positive。ね、sad はダメですね。悲しいことはダメですね。アメリカの考え方では。多分いろいろがあるですね。日本では我慢とか、頑張るとか、しょうがないとか、ね、いろいろ、例えば、一つの面白い価値観はもったいないですね。それはもう価値だと思いますね。アメリカ人は結構ね、食べ物を、レストランで食べ物を頼んで、で、多分全部食べないで捨てるとか、ね、とか、これ好きじゃないから食べない。ね、そういう自由があるんですよ、アメリカ人だから。ね、そういう自分のお金出したから、その金の価値が大事ですよ。で、払ったから、僕はこれを何でもできる。捨ててもいい。払ったから。ね、それは、みんなじゃない、もちろんけど、結構一般的なアメリカ人の価値観かな、食べ物について。もちろん、日本人は、もったいない、もし捨てたら。ね、一生懸命作った、ね、お金の価値じゃなくて、この食べ物の価値ですね。で、もし捨てたら、それはもったいないですね。そういうように考えたら、このダーナとか、知恵とか、こういう六波羅蜜のことをもっと仏教的な価値観かなと思いますね。このダナは、ギビングだけ、あげることだけ、なんていう、寄付とか、 ね、ジェネラシティとかだけじゃないと思います。このダナは慈悲と一緒だと思いますね。実は六波羅蜜を見たら、最初ダナと最後知恵が一番大事ですね。それは wisdom and compassion。知恵と慈悲ですね。知恵は仏様の悟りですね。悟れたら知恵で本当のことを見る。ね、そのまま見る。ね、空とか、ね、無常とか、演技とか、ね、なんか概念だけじゃなくて本当の経験ができるですね。で、慈悲は、ね、自分が全然入ってないよ。100% 他の人とか他の生き物のためですね。その慈悲。マイトリーも入ってるですね。マイトリーはマイトレイヤと弥勒とかに入ってますね。それはただフレンドリネス、kindness、ね。それは一番基本の価値観だと思います。仏教では。自分ができないですね。自分ができません。よく自分のために考えてる。ね、よく自分の変な見方で、ね、selfish とか、ね、見たいことを見るとか、他の人の、苦しいことを無視するとか、ね、それ普通ですね、私は。でも、こういう価値があったら、自分が変わると思いますね。自分が selfish、わがままともっとわかる。ね、もし、この selflessness、ね、このダナのことを分かったら、自分が selfless じゃない、自分結構わがままですね。もし僕は自分の親のことを考えたら、僕はすごいわがままだったんですね。若い頃分からなかったと思います。見えなかった。ね、でも最近もっと分かったと思いますね。僕の親が大体20年前に亡くなりました。ね、でその時から僕はすごいわがままだったんじゃない、ね、でもそれは僕だったね。僕はそれを変えられなかったと思いますね。いろいろのことがあったからね。だから特にこういう変な時、ね、政治的には変でしょ。ベイエリアにはね、いっぱい火事とか煙があったからね、そういうの苦しみもある。コロナウイルスとかね、その病気もあるですね。みんなね、一人一人自分の家に結構スタックですね。こういう難しい時にもこういう仏教の価値観を考えなければならないと思いますね。で、もちろん一番大事のは念仏。一番大事のは南無阿弥陀仏。ね、それはね、私たちの自分の考えとか自分のことを超えてるんですね。その南無阿弥陀仏ではいろいろみんなとつながっていると思いますね。で、楽な時もっと感謝がわかると思いますね。念仏のおかげで。で、苦しい時も念仏のおかげでもうちょっと我慢ができると思います。頑張れると思いますね。さあ、もうね、時間になったと思いますから、皆さんに本当にありがとうございました。ね、すいません。あんまり日本語でよく言えないと思いますけど、ね、皆さんに僕は結構楽しかったですね。皆さんお大事に、ね、みんなお元気でね、ありがとうございました。最後に念仏を唱えましょう。南無阿弥陀仏。南無阿弥陀仏。南無阿弥陀仏。南無阿弥陀仏。南無阿弥陀仏。南無阿弥陀仏。
All right, this concludes our very special Fall Ohigan service with Hector Ortiz musical offering and Reverend Harry Bridge giving a Dharma talk in both English and Japanese. Thank you for spending this service with us. Please join me in Gasho. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Naman Dautsu. Naman Dautsu. Naman Dautsu.